What was that noise?
All right. We're live and they can hear us.
Fucked.
Really?
Yes.
You test your headphones out there for you.
Hear us in surround.
Everybody hates us now.
There's nobody on.
Welcome to
like,
an.
oh, they watch us anyway.
Can I do the intro? God damn.
No, you may not.
Welcome to another.
Everybody's against you, JD. Get fucked.
All right, rocks fall. You ever start to wonder?
Yep.
Every day.
I blame her. She's a bad influence.
I'm a bad influence.
This is a third session, but only the second episode of the show because we took a week off from streaming last week to see if that was the reason that I just went flaccid halfway through the episode. Yes, thank you, Don.
You're welcome.
But it turns out it may have had something to do with my piece of shit players.
We're not pieces of shit. We're pieces of fuck.
No, you're right. Garrett, Taylor, you guys are wonderful angels. You two, on the other hand.
You two, on the other end. Ooh.
It's okay. You could do something about it.
Yeah.
Well, something will be done about it.
If you kill off my character, you know what that means, right?
I get to put in another player, yeah.
Oh,
I
shit.
mean, okay, I guess it means you're not going to be playing at my house then.
Katie, would you like to play my Fight me. Actually, I redact that tape. Because I don't have a house. Ooh.
Whatever.
That's not my house.
Yeah, it is. You live there.
Well, I live there, but the house is not in my possession.
Eggs.
You're making this painful.
What?
Said you guys are making this painful.
What
A little bit.
What's painful for you, Leah?
Let's let them do the fucking intro.
No, just fuck it at this point. All right, so last time we left off, you guys had piddled around town a fair amount. There was a meeting called by Sam Dinley, and you guys attended that meeting. He basically said that it would do you villagers some good to be out of town.
They're sick of us.
Particularly Axis, who had never really been outside the village at any point in time. Roth, who had become rather fixed in his station in the village, and was beginning to forget how to talk to people.
Yeah.
Tara had actually just gotten back from being out of town, but who better to be a guide than the person who has just gotten back from the place that they were sent to? And
Did you hear that?
yeah, it sounded like a baby crying.
It did.
No, there's not one on your doorstep.
I'm scared.
Well, it's going to be there for a hot minute. This is why you don't leave children at doorsteps.
It's gotta be a decision.
It'll have to wait.
Wow. Ruthless.
And Una, who is hankering to see a little bit of the rest of the country. So they set off, escorting Cara Maphis to the town of Verid, and that's where we left off. So,
Okay.
yes.
Other interesting thing, Una found out some. For the record, you found some letters in a book.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Mm-hmm.
Intrigue, and gossip.
Whisper, whisper.
Yeah.
That was pretty much everything that happened, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So you didn't miss anything.
Pretty mostly.
Yeah, more or less. Basically, just players finding their footing with their characters. All right. So, you've reached the gates. Back at the village, you're not used to seeing walls aside from fences, but this is well and truly a wall around this town. There is a gate to boot. It is manned by 2 guards, one wearing a breastplate, the other wearing a suit of leather armor. The one with leather armor has a bow. The one in armor is wielding a glaive. As you approach, they don't really do anything to stop you.
Is the wall? Is it just wood? Is it wooden wall or is there
Stone.
Ah, so it's a permanent wall. Okay.
Yes.
A permanent wall.
Well, no, it's a permanent wall. If it's a smaller settlement, it might just been like a wood.
You know,
wooden palisade.
because wood is not as permanent as rock.
What's the
What is wrong?
topography around here like? Is this on a hill? Is it in a valley?
Is it under a rainbow?
It's mostly flatland at this point. There's a cliff if you travel eastward enough. But aside from that, it's more grassy plain, much like you've been made to get used to over the week-long journey up here.
Is this the only entrance to the city?
No, there's another one on the northern side of it, but you're entering from the south. Inside, you hear the hustle and bustle of the city. People shouting, the general murmur of conversation happening at more or less every alleyway, every turn, every street.
This is a city.
It's quite different from what you're used to. Where out in the countryside, you know, if you're not saying anything, then it's just generally quiet. There might be the braying of a cow or the whinny of a horse in the distance, but other than that, just the wind blowing over the grass.
I get up in the car and hide.
Okay,
There's a lot of people here.
there is.
Welcome to the city.
So this is like stupid stressful compared to what we're used to.
I don't like this.
This is exciting.
Kara says, most doesn't smell great here.
No.
Sorry.
Well, unless you've been shitting in the streets, I don't think this is your fault.
Well, they have been here.
Don't give me time.
Oh.
Nervous bowels there, old man?
You got to think about the kind of lifestyle my man's been living.
Yeah, eating on berries and mushrooms.
Kara's not familiar with that.
Okay. She about to become familiar.
She's been on the road with us for about a few days now.
But instead of getting some
Just-
It's that poor bitch.
Just we just see you plopping them alongside of the road.
Just like
plop, plop, and then you pull up and keep going.
There you go.
Jesus Christ.
he said we were, he said we were peasants, not Neanderthals.
Right? Yeah.
Show some class.
God.
No, remember, this was back when you had to weave your toilet paper out of the grass nearby.
Mm-hmm.
You know, generally we don't get into that level of detail with. I appreciate the effort, but no,
I mean, if you don't want to get any on your hands.
Make a dexterity check.
I don't want.
To poop, make a dexterity check.
We've gone for the gritty version of the D&D.
Yeah, you did
They
say
gone
really
for
real.
shit.
Is it athletics or acrobatics to hold the power squat while you go to yourself on the side of the road?
Both. You have to use both.
Anyway, so
That's the
it's
spell.
shut up.
That's a charisma
Shut up.
save in order to be.
Guys,
Oh.
we're not even 10 minutes into this.
So, is there a town square, town?
Yeah.
Grand Central Station.
there is a main square. On the northern side of the square, there is a chapel of sorts. It would more properly be called a church if it wasn't if it didn't feature an altar to each deity of the pantheon. Instead, it is a large building with several little alcoves on the inside, each devoted to an altar, and then living quarters for the priests. Nearby, on the western side of the town square, is a town hall. On the eastern side of the square, there appears to be some sort of guild building. And on the southern point, you see what appears to be some sort of. You're not quite sure what you would call it. It appears to be a barn of sorts, if that barn lacked walls,
So gazebo.
more or less. There are support structures.
No, I thought that's literally what you would call it.
There are
Jason
there are
knows what I'm smiling
support
at.
beams rising up to just hold this roof.
It's an awning.
Well, no, an awning comes off of a building.
Yeah. An awning is like the cloth thing that hangs down and provides shade.
What the fuck is that right there called?
A
Carport.
garage,
No.
Carport.
a carport.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay.
Well, you know.
Hmm?
Okay, go ahead.
Yes. I know
on.
what.
I thought that's what it was called. Not a carport.
Anyway. It's a roof on stilts.
The carport.
Under which many different types of business appear to be happening.
That's it.
It appears to be a small marketing space.
It's like a farmer's market kind of deal.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Here you see people selling weapons, goods, pretty much whatever you can think of is right here at this spot. There are a couple of merchant stalls set up around the square here and there. There we go. And that's a general description of the town square. Very busy. There are several carts here and there.
It's very kid-like.
Just for everyone at the table, we've got some objectives here. We were assigned.
Oh, yeah, the
I
stuff.
wrote down the tasks we had.
Yeah, the shopping
Um,
list.
Yeah, we need a bundle of herbs from Nina's garden.
Mhm.
We need to get a set of leather workers' tools.
And we need tea leaves for Nina's garden.
Okay.
And we need a bundle of herbs for Samantha.
For Sarah.
And leather workers' tools from
Oh,
a guy
Sam,
named
yeah.
Samson.
Yeah.
A hybrid plant
Potatoes.
we get for Judd. Jeremiah Judd, I guess. And we need to drop off that batch of meat that Kane gave us.
I'll let you 30 gold.
You're good with names. It's
Yeah.
Judd Trud.
Huh?
Judd is his first name.
Judd Trud.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm bad.
Judd Trud.
Judd
We lost
Trud.
our
Our
We
wizard.
lost our
legend.
guide.
We lost our legend.
Mhm.
We're lost.
But yeah, you've got two things to do at the place called Nina's Garden. You've got a delivery to pick up from Gertrude's contact. Kara is going to handle her business, presumably. A wand to deliver to a dwarf by the name of Ebert Greybeard. Kane has a delivery that you guys are carrying about for the new boar's tusk. And Taylor has a letter to deliver.
Do we want to split up the tasks? I mean, I think that would make sense once we reach like the center of town. If we can find a place to park the wagon.
Sure. Kara suggests, well, if we've got a delivery to an inn anyway, we might as well stop there first, right?
This is true.
All right. She's going to roll an investigation check to see if she can track down where the new boar's tusk is.
Okay.
Oof. It's going to be a 9?
Not super great.
Not really. She doesn't really find anything. After about an hour of poking around, she eventually just asks someone to point out the way.
Like a person?
Yes.
Okay.
While we're traveling around for an hour, do I happen to spot, and I understand, as long as I'm hiding in the wagon, I'm compromised with what I can see going on around me.
Right.
But a blacksmith or someplace that might work in armor, something like that. Even a place with a lot of smoke coming out might be what I'm looking for. So
Just search for the smell of rotten eggs.
But nobody likes the
if
smell
I
of
happen
sulfur.
to see something like that, I will keep note of that.
Nobody likes the smell of sulfur.
Okay. So you're just keeping eyes peeled for a blacksmith?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Make a perception check with disadvantage. Because you are in the wagon.
I'll roll one there.
Thank you.
That is a 3 for that. Sounds good. That is a 7.
It's really hard to see from within the wagon.
Especially when you're in a fetal position.
Yeah.
On top of that, you're working off descriptions of what you've heard blacksmiths described as. They don't really have one over in the village.
Yeah.
A guy hits metal things with another piece of metal, and that shapes the metal into other things. I mean, if that were the way things worked, you could just hit a tree with a 2x4, and eventually you'd have a barn, right?
They're like metal benders.
Yeah. Lots of fire and loud noise.
Anyway,
It's glorious.
you make your way through the winding streets. The new boar's tusk ends up being on the west side of town.
Wait, you said perception, didn't you? Oh, there is separate. Never mind. Forget my question.
Okay. Will do.
Okay.
It's a fairly sizable affair. It's about the size of it's about half the size of Earl Hellhod's barn for his cattle. Quite a sizable building. 2 stories. The front of the inn. Above the door, there is a sign depicting a boar's face with 2 tusks, one of which looks old and rotted through, and the other one is painted very shiny white. There's a sparkle depicted off of that new shiny tusk.
Anime style sparkle going on.
Yes, a starburst of light, if you will. There is a couple of men talking outside.
Let's see. Hello?
One of the men looks at you and says, "Hail."
Either one of you work at this fine establishment?
They look at each other and they're like, they look back to you. No, we're just having a chat.
Excuse me. I'll duck my head in.
As
Oh,
I forgot how tall you were.
so did he apparently.
monstrously tall. As you stumble your way into the room, the first floor of the inn, there is immediately a staircase to your left, a small dining area with several tables. Chairs set around those tables. In the rightmost corner, there is a to the right and ahead of you, there's the bar, in front of which sits or behind which sits a man. He's sitting on some sort of raised stool. You can see one knee brought up in plain sight, on which he holds a book with one hand and balances the other end of the book on the other. He appears to be reading. In front of him, there is an inkwell with a quill. Behind him, there is a wall of booze.
Did we get any kind of receipt for this meat or any kind of documentation they sent with us?
Kane told you that you're supposed to receive something like about 50 gold for this.
I mean, like something that he sent with us, kind of like a bill of sale or something like that.
No.
All right. Well, I'll just go to the barkeep.
He looks up at you and says, I don't think we have a bed in your size, sir.
No, we've come from Caleb. We've got a shipment for you.
Oh, you're one of Kane's new delivery men, huh?
Something like that. Security.
Sure, yeah.
Security.
All right. We're okay, outside, yeah. All right. Will you be are you just departing after this, or will you be staying a bit?
We're not leaving immediately. We've got some stuff to take care of.
Okay. In that case, how many do you have with you?
Is Kane staying with us, or is she going? She's got somewhere else to stay.
Kara has not mentioned one way or the other.
Possibly 5. 4 I know of, maybe 5.
Was it 4 or 5?
I don't know yet. We have
5.
we'll just go with 5, yeah.
Just in case.
Yeah.
The youngest among us is the one talking. I realize.
You guys are good at this.
I'm bad at this. I'll admit.
Okay.
There's a fungus among us.
He nods. And says, "All right." So I'll go ahead and put you down for 5.
5 rooms?
No, not 5 rooms. 5 people staying.
Occupancy of 5.
Right.
Right.
Each room has 2 beds to it, but there's enough space on each bed for about 2 people. If you don't mind sharing. If you do mind sharing, then that's unfortunate.
We've got 2 ox
I don't mind
as
sharing.
well.
We've got a portion in the back. We can keep them in.
How much is that extra, or is that with the rooms?
It'll be just a bit extra, but it's not too much. Here at the New Boar's Tusk, we understand finances being tight. Yeah, that'll for 2 rooms and storing your oxen. I assume you have a card if you've got oxen, right?
Got your
That'll
meat on it.
run you gold a day.
Not bad.
I look at the gold. It's just like it's half as much as I've spent as I've made in a year.
checkout is sun up every noon, but if you want to keep staying, just give me another gold and you're on. Your stay includes a meal for yourselves and feed for your oxen.
Slide a gold on the table. So much money. Oof.
How much money do you have?
I'm the proprietor of this establishment, Peter Adalis. Your hand dwarfs his.
Oh, God.
You shake his wrist.
Oh.
He says, mighty powerful grip you've got there.
Axis.
I'll have the name. I'll have that under your name then.
Where do you want me to offload the meat at?
Oh, he gives a whistle, and a rather large half-orc appears from around the corner, wearing an apron. It's got food stains on it. Several of them look rather old. He wanders up and says, "Yeah." Peter gestures, says, "Another shipment of mead from Fromageth. If you don't mind retrieving it, this young man will show you where it's at." The orc says, "Yeah."
You boss. Okay, boss.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I do like the thing with a barrel where I'll just pick it up with one hand? Or are they too large for that?
Well, it's a case, as it were, so that might be.
They're not kings.
Yeah.
Mediocre.
When he walked in, I can't help but think you're about to start the scene like from FMA, like Armstrong versus other guy. Yeah.
Damn it.
All right. The rest of you just sitting in the wagon,
What doing?
or what do you do?
I offload my companions and then offload the meat.
Do they need help offloading the meat?
No. The half orc picks up the mead, nods to each of you in the wagon, and then wanders inside.
There's a lot of brawn going on. There's not enough meat for all the brawn that wants to eat
There's
this
so
stuff.
much muscle.
Not enough work to go around.
Should be noted, the half orc, he's muscular, but there's a healthy amount of padding.
It's like a butcher.
there.
What time of day is it?
It is. You guys have arrived a little bit afternoon.
Okay.
All days are wasted.
So, how would we like to divide the tasks?
Kara says, "Now I'm perfectly capable of handling my delivery on my own, but I wouldn't object to any volunteers to come along."
You can come along.
I
I'm kind of curious. Unless you'd like to.
want to go.
I'm gonna put my head in the wagon. You coming out?
I'm coming out. I want the one to see.
The world to see. Look at that beautiful.
Do I
man.
have to?
Yep.
No, that elf. That beautiful elf. I forgot you were an elf.
Got work to do.
So green.
Well. All
My
right.
favorite color.
The two men standing at the front of the inn say, "You storing those oxen? It's around the back." They gesture to an alley.
Oh, thank you.
In the back of our cart. You can put them.
Just pick up the oxen inside the cart.
So,
They're used to this.
I guess we drive our oxen to the back.
Just ride the oxen like a horse.
They have such square backs.
No, it's like with the horns, just like.
Like you're riding a Harley Davidson. Yeah. God damn it. That's
Good.
Mm-hmm.
I want to.
Mm-hmm.
I want to try to. I want to find a blacksmith.
What you need a blacksmith for?
I got some things I need done.
Well, I want to get this stuff done before we start worrying about personal stuff.
We're staying.
Are we staying more than a day?
Let's see if we get everything done. I'll see.
That's
We
why
might
I was
be.
wondering how long are we staying? Do we have rooms or something?
Yeah, paid for 2 rooms. But
You have money?
yeah, they gave us a bunch of money.
We all
Oh,
got some
right.
money.
Here you go.
Oh,
Hands you your 25 gold.
I just spent half my life savings on ordering those 2 rooms.
Well, you never grabbed it, so
I didn't know it existed.
just
Oh,
I kept it hidden.
You know
I kept
where,
it safe for you for 3 days.
Do you know where stuff is
Or
in
I
the
guess I
city?
would be doing it way down here.
Um,
You're like tall.
his knee.
It's all
That's
kind
short.
of
how familiar with the
Halfling.
city should I be?
You're moderately familiar. You'd be able to point him in the right direction in most cases.
You know where the best ones.
Yeah.
Bundle
To
of
save on cash, you normally stay in a podunk inn near the southern entrance, so you don't normally wander over to the New Boar's Tusk.
bundle of herbs.
if some
Tea leaves.
if some
Get
people
some
want to
mushrooms.
go with Kara, I can try to go maybe think about for a second. Samson guy. Need to get some tools for the Dinley boy. Do you know anyone named Samson here in the town?
Terra would not be familiar with Samson Barase.
I don't know any Samson now.
Hi. Do I those 2 guys are standing outside the New Boar's Tuscan.
Yeah.
I walk up to one of them about 5 feet away and just kind of stand there.
Okay.
And wait for their conversation to abate for a moment.
One of them says,
Just
"Yeah,
kinda
and I was
stand there.
elbow deep in there too. It's really nuts. Like you wouldn't believe the kind of stuff that happens at that shop. Well, I might have to visit it then." But they turn. They just now noticed. Oh, hello.
Hi.
Is there something we can do for you?
My name's Roth.
Well, hey, Roth.
Nice to
I'm
meet.
Pete. This is Richard.
Hi, Pete and Richard. I offer out my hand to shake.
They look at your hand. They look back at you, and they're like, "What's this?"
Oh,
It's a green.
I was wondering. Do you know some Samson? I'm looking for some tools.
The guy Peter looks at Richard. They share a look, and Pete says, "I know a couple of Samsons. Why do you need to know?"
I just an errand, nothing fishy. just wanting to do a favor for somebody.
They share another look. One of them says, "You know what? I'm gonna go. I'll go get the Samson I know. Why don't you just wait right here for a second?" Richard.
Sure, yeah.
Richard wanders down the street. Peter watches him go. Peter stands here for a second and says, "It'll be just a minute. Samson just lives right down the street from us."
Oh, that's fine. It's pretty important I meet him.
He did mention he was looking for tools.
Did he?
He did.
I did. But yeah, yeah, it's pretty important. I do this, and thank you for helping. I don't know much.
Sure. What did you say you needed Samson for again?
Some tools. There's a boy I know who needs some tools to do his to work the leather as it were, and you know,
Just leather working tools. It's not a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
you know how it is.
So I've come back from putting up the auction yet.
Yeah. You'll be rounding the corner at around this time. Kara leans in to Roth and says, "It really sounds like you're not talking about leather workers' tools at all."
I was being clear.
What's going on?
I think Richard went to go get the guards because it sounds like you're like Roth here is asking for not what he's asking for.
No, he's just...
Okay, now that this is being brought up, can I see if now that I'm paying a bit closer attention, I guess, can I see this person who walked away to go get this other person?
You cannot see them at this point.
Okay, the guy that's in front of me, Peter. I want to try to see does he look scared of me or?
That would be an insight check.
Okay. That's an 11.
He seems a little on the uneasy side.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry to bother you. I'm not great at talking, so it's just look. The boy's name is Samuel Denley, and he
Incorrect.
he's grasping at straws here.
Sure.
And he needs some leather workers tools.
Yeah.
And that's supposed to get him from Samson that lives here somewhere. So that's what I'm here for. And I'm sorry if I come across as
all right, so you're clearly not from the city.
Yeah.
He's not even from the hamlet we live in. He just lives out in the middle of the woods.
Well, general tip from me to you: don't say I'm looking for some stuff for a boy. All right, here in town, that implies a lot of different things. Could be misconstrued, maybe a little bit. If you need leather workers' tools, you say I'm looking to purchase some leather workers' tools. You don't need to tell me who they're for.
Okay.
That was kind of weird.
Okay.
But yeah, if you're looking for a metallurgist, I can point you in the direction.
Yeah, that would be very good. Thank you.
All right.
Just don't you do that? Isn't that like a cold or something?
All right. Hey Tara, make a perception check.
Oh boy.
Here comes Samson.
Okay. So you notice at some point Pete looks right past Roth and then goes. You glance to where Pete was gesturing, and you see Richard beginning to approach with what looks to be a member of the town guard, and then he says he does something and gestures at the guard. The guard walks away.
I'm wasting my damn time again, Samson.
Tara snickers.
Thanks, Peter. I'll. Did he tell me the direction that he is yet?
Yeah, he tells you to head to the town square. Take a street going to the southeast. It's called Madcore Lane, and it goes right by the place you're looking. It's a small place for metal workers of most kinds. A well-ventilated building.
Okay.
Look for the building that's basically just windows.
Looks like it's on fire, but it's not.
All right. I depart in shame
Okay.
and head towards that direction.
Kara says, "Well, first, I'm going to take a couple of minutes to get my things up to our rooms."
That sounds like a good idea.
All right.
I guess I'm going after a bunch of plants.
Want to try a bite?
All right, you're going to Nina's garden.
Yeah, we had 2 things. So yeah, I'll go get those 2 things done.
Okay. All right. So Tara and Una, you were going to travel with Kara, right? And you're going for the leather workers' tools.
Mhm.
Okay.
There's apparently Reese brownies in the fridge.
I saw her making something. Where is it?
We were supposed to bake cookies together. But I didn't get off work till 5. And I had to take a shower.
So as soon as Kara is ready to depart from the inn, she looks to Tara and Una and says, "So I just wanted to ask, does Ross, has he always just spoken like that? Like in that weird, meandering kind of, not really getting to the point ever kind of way?"
Did I miss something?
Yes, yes.
Okay, because that was just like, I've never seen somebody butcher a conversation like that. Like, man, that was something.
He's a few levels on the lower end of the intelligence spectrum.
Gotcha. Okay. I'll use smaller words from now on. All right. So speaking of Roth, we will go to him first.
Okay.
So what the hell conversation did I miss?
He almost got arrested arrested by the town guard for asking to get some leather workers' tools.
Because he made it sound like he was looking for a pair of forceps for a boy.
What?
He tried to have
What did you do?
he tried to have
you
a
had-
conversation and almost got arrested.
Yeah. That's what happens when you have a 7 charisma.
This is what a dump stat in charisma looks like.
All right.
Ask for directions.
You get arrested for opening your damn mouth.
Yeah, pretty much.
Gentlemen,
Arrest him.
I'm looking for some tools. They're for a young boy, you see.
I'm gonna go get the
Uh-huh.
I'm getting the police.
Just
What?
yeah. We don't do that here.
I need an adult.
You need something.
Horses, apparently.
An intervention.
This is why we like to roll our stats, Steve.
That's too easy.
Apparently. It's okay.
You make your way to the shop, Ironson's Ingot,
Okay.
a shop full of metal workers. Wandering in, you're immediately assaulted by just a wave of heat inside this building. The building does appear to be made primarily of brick. In a couple of places, you can see there appears to be a sheets of metal driven into the walls here. You're not entirely sure what that's about, but once inside, this place smells of chemical and burning coal.
Nice.
There is a man with a piece of cloth covering his mouth. He looks up as you enter. He says, "You have an appointment today?"
Huh?
Sorry. What can we do for you?
Hi, my name's Roth.
I'm Garrett. What can I do for you?
Nice to meet you. I'm looking for some leather workers' tools for a boy.
Taking the wrong lesson. Garrett nods and says, "So, I'm sorry. Are you looking for leather workers' tools, or are you looking for a toy to give to a boy?"
The tools, they're not a toy.
Okay, so you're actually looking for leather workers' tools.
Yes.
Okay, so lead with that. Don't when you add on boy, confuses people.
Oh, okay.
Don't say boy.
But we do have those. We do have those for sale.
There's someone that should have them. Samson.
There's not a Samson working here, so can't help you on that front. But we do have leather worker tools if you'd like to buy some.
Okay. Shoot. 1 second.
Something the matter?
He's gonna turn his back away from him and think to himself for a second.
Okay.
Shoot. He's trying to remember if these were tools that he's supposed to buy or whether they're already there for him or what.
Make an intelligence check.
Oh boy.
You said boy again. Here comes the large.
For every time you say it, there's one more guard.
Just stop making it sound like you're a pedophile, okay?
Every time you say boy, somebody gets arrested.
Every time you say it,
9.
30 dies.
Samson was supposed to be a friend of somebody in the village.
Who was Samson?
Do they have a friend named Delilah?
Hey, don't speak of prostitutes like that. That's insulting.
Was this not really about a prostitute?
Biblical story, not the one that the song is about.
Oh,
I turn back to him and say, do you know of a Samson?
Depends. What's the last name?
Shoot.
did we ever get the last name?
It's been mentioned before,
Yes. It has been mentioned in this session.
but both player and character are failing to remember it. Which is
Notes are
probably
important,
fair.
yeah.
Which is probably fair for my character, to
Okay,
be
let's have
honest.
them. You guys
Because
said
it wasn't an easy name to remember.
No,
It
you're
started
right.
with a V.
I'm bad with names, so
I
not surprised.
I think it started with a V, but I can't remember it.
Unfortunately, I really can't help you at that point because that's not really giving me a lot to go on. Do you know how many last names start with B? I can think of 3 off the top of my head.
Wow. Well,
I can only think of one.
how much are the
Is that the last name?
tools that you have?
Well, they'll run you 7 gold unless you're looking for master's tools, in which case those will run you about 50.
Oh,
50. Could you shoot?
Fuck.
Could you you couldn't take 25 for them, could you?
Half the price. You're asking me to cut the price by half.
Well,
You're
Yeah.
asking me to basically give you these tools for free.
well, They're not for me. They're for somebody else.
Right, you mentioned a
He
boy.
didn't say boy. Give him one more point of charisma.
Wait a minute.
Well, that's
Boy.
fine. That's fine.
A bell rings in the background, and Vic, what's your passive perception?
My passive perception is a 14.
Okay. You hear the guy say, "Oh, thank fuck," and he says, "Hold on, I've got to go look at that."
I know
he
what kind of
stands
cuss
up
word
and
this is.
walks into the back. You hear the a loud clanging of metal as he opens the door that's behind the desk, and it shuts, and you hear shouting. You think, and then the man enters again and says, "Sorry about that. Okay, so where were we? You need tools. It's for somebody else, and you want me to give you a massive discount for no reason."
Was it Gurk Vance?
Well, you miss every shot you don't take. So
That's awfully meta, Garrett.
What is?
no, this is. He has no idea. Have I not put across to you that this man does not understand? some
Yes,
of
he's
these
exceptionally
things?
dim.
Okay. Very uneducated in how this whole economics thing works.
All right. So no, I'm not going to do that. You can buy the regular ones if 50 is too expensive for your taste. And unfortunately, I can't direct you to a Samson V because there's. I mean, that just doesn't get me anywhere.
All right. Yeah, I don't mean to be trouble. I'll get a normal set of tools and I'll
All
pay
right.
for them.
Like I said, those are only 10 gold.
Okay. And I go ahead and take out the 10 gold and give it to him.
All right. 1 second while I fetch those for you.
All right.
He walks into the back again. There's that loud clang, clang,
Is this
happening back there.
a smithy or a foundry?
Roth has no idea.
We'll find out later.
Yeah.
Sometime later tonight.
I have a name written down for these tools, by the way. Bedas,
Vidasi.
Bedasi. Samson Bedasi.
Who does not work here. After about 5 minutes, the man returns and hands you a set of tools wrapped in a leather pouch.
Okay.
He hands them off and says, "Is that going to be all for you today?"
That's not for a red carpet.
There's, gosh, no.
Please.
I was also in the time that I've been waiting for him here, have I seen like any weapons on the walls or anything of that? Weapons or armor? And
not really. There are various different kinds of tools hanging on the walls, but they're all kind of behind this desk, which bifurcates the room. There is a wooden gate on hinges on next to one side of the wall.
okay. Do you know anything about swords or armor? Because
I could tell you a few things, but we don't sell those here. Here at Iron Since Ingots, we more specialize in the minutia, the finesse side of things, making tools, making smaller frames, things that you can't use your general blacksmith's hammer for.
Do you have any shears?
Shears, yeah, we got those. What do you need?
Could I have one? How? And for how much?
Like what kind of shears?
Just like a gardening,
Okay.
like a like you use in a tree.
Okay. So that would be on the larger side of things, right?
Yeah.
For which you would go to a blacksmith shop. All right.
Okay.
You can find one near the town square, right? It's right past the market canopy, right? So you're gonna go south from the town square.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Do you got that?
Mm-hmm.
All right. You can't miss it. It's a big metal building. Well,
Okay.
the base is stone, but the rest of the building is made of metal.
That sounds interesting.
All right. It's got a bright red roof. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Name of the shop is Hot Steel. Right?
Okay. Hot steel. Hot steel. Hot steel. Okay.
One more
do
time for
you-
good measure.
Sure.
Hot Steel.
Yeah.
Got
Got
it.
it.
Yep. If I see you, I'll shop again.
Do you do you you work with leather, right? So could you want to engage in any
No,
trade?
I just got done telling you. We work in smaller metal tools, right?
Okay.
You know, so I'm talking like not anything you'd make at blacksmith shop, right? Smaller, fine machinations. Like we make locks. We make various other things, tongs, that
Okay.
sort.
Wood carver's tools?
Okay. All right.
Hot metal.
Yes, hot
Okay.
steel.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're gonna go to the town square. You go south. It's right past the market canopy.
Big stone building with a metal bottom.
This is why Tara didn't talk about his
Stone
elf
floor,
business.
metal on top.
Metal on top. Okay.
Bright red roof.
I've got it.
You sure?
I've got it.
Okay.
I've got it.
If you're sure.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
No problem.
Have a nice day.
Same to you, stranger.
Please leave.
All right.
Ross says to himself, he's so hard to get to answer me straight.
Guys, this is the drinking heavily.
The guy in the background just marks something down in the book.
I've got to get out of it.
It's like, Jesus fucking Christ.
The retail followed me to the.
All right. Who wants to go next? Kara and crew or Axis?
I can go next.
All right, Axis, you're up.
Someone else-
Too late. You volunteered.
I've got two things to do at the same place, I think. So I've got to find this place, huh? Like Nina's garden.
Yeah. Do you want to roll an investigation on that one?
I'm proficient in investigation. Oh, that +2.
Hey.
Oh. Where's Nina's garden?
It's real simple. You walk out, you're like, hey, where's the most popular gardening shop here in this town? And they're like, well, that's Nina's garden, of course. And they show you how to get there. One person volunteers to walk you there because they're not terribly busy at the moment.
I'm escorted to
You are escorted to Nina's garden.
on a pelican.
Fancy.
That's
Wish-
what
wish I
a
had
19 gets you. The person is escorted by.
I'm not sure whether I should increase or decrease Roth's piety with Neandra for that one. Because an attempt was made. It just was he wasn't very good at it.
Did she cringe or didn't she? It's like trying to sell an old man a cell phone.
Right?
But so is this like a nice little one-story house that's white with
It's a small wooden structure with a greenhouse attached.
how much taller am I than the door?
You're only a few inches larger.
Squeeze, crunch, crunch. All right. Shit.
Once you enter, there's a slightly tan woman in plain clothing, a little bit dirt smudged here and there, standing at a counter. As you walk in, a gnomish attendant walks away and out one of the side doors of the room. The walls of this place are covered in gardening equipment, shovels, trowels, you name it. This middle-aged woman looks up at you. She says, "Hi, what can I do for you today?"
Good afternoon. I'm from. My name is Axis from Caliph.
Well, hi there, Axis from Caliph. How are you doing?
I'm right. Well, I'm here to pick up a few things actually.
All right. So you're picking up an order?
Yes. What I'm supposed to pick up some tea leaves.
Okay.
Do
Who are they for?
until check. I wrote notes. I just forgot to do that. Was it 2 orders for? I have Samantha. Is that 2 orders for the same person? Like tea leaves and then a bundle of herbs.
Tea leaves for Samantha, which also includes her herbs.
Oh, so this is
So
both,
that's 2 orders.
So this is the same order. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And the other order is
potato
seeds.
plant.
Yeah.
I'm actually getting tea leaf for Samantha. And I believe there were some herbs with that as well.
Samantha Dinley.
Didn't
Okay. Yep. Yeah. It'll take me a minute to package that, but I can have that for you.
And there was a matter of some seeds, a hybrid plant of some kind as well.
From Caliph, she begins. She grabs a book from beneath the counter and begins turning pages and says, "Right, for Tread."
Tread.
Okay, yeah, I can get those all bundled up for you. It should only take me about 10 minutes or so, if you don't mind waiting. And the total for that is going to come to about 10 gold.
All right. I weep bitterly as I hand over 10 gold.
Oh.
Why is this place so expensive? I'll take 10 gold. Or give him 10 gold. That leaves me with 16 gold left. I'm gonna get attacked by shambling powers.
And would you like to look around at the premises for a little bit in the greenhouse?
I had a question for you real quick. I was the first time
Certainly.
here. Any what's a good place to get tools around here?
What kind of tools?
Well, we don't have much back in our little hamlet.
Mm-hmm.
We don't, like, for instance, we don't have a smithy in the back, but we need one. We're already picking up some leather workers tools, so I figured, what's like? Do y'all have just a good toolsmith that you know is reliable, or? 'Cause I'm not necessarily know what I'm looking for. Just want to know what's available.
Well, I know for smaller tools, like the more delicate sort, you're going to be looking either for a specialist. I think, Samson Verace. He does good work with tools. Other than that, there's a shop called Ironson's Ingots. It's kind of on the one of the southeastern portions of town. I can tell you how to get there. The main proprietor, Garrett, Garrett Idol, he runs the place. Has a couple of skilled crafters working. They're they kind of work around a furnace.
Samson Badassi. I've heard that. We were actually meant. I'm glad you mentioned that. We were supposed to talk to him anyway. I think I'll just go talk to him after I'm done here.
Sure, I can tell you how to get to his shop. And outside of that, you might. There's a blacksmith in town. You should check out the Hot Steel Forge.
Fortunately, he doesn't. He'll just use his steel mind to remember all these details.
Yeah, right.
All that 10 intelligence.
That's still tractor.
Good. It's blacksmith, not blacksmith.
And Hot Steel is run by lovely man, Bairn Orkvo.
Bairn?
Bairn.
Like bear, but with an urn in it?
You're funny. It's spelled Baern. Bairn.
I've never seen so many shops in all my life. I appreciate it.
Welcome to Baird.
Yeah.
Welcome to the shit.
And if you'd like to have a look at our greenhouse while you're waiting, if you just wander out there, my attendant, Carlin Turin, she's right up there. She'll be perfectly happy to answer any questions you might have.
Don't tempt me with a good time. He'll excuse himself into the.
She wanders into the back room. Do you want to have a conversation with the gnome?
He's going to peruse and try not to break anything.
Wow.
Because to him, plants are plants.
Right.
He can either eat them or he can't.
The really colorful ones are bad.
Those look tasty. That's nice shape. Is that a grape?
Good. All right. Oof.
Well, we haven't burned anything down or killed anybody, so we're doing pretty good.
Yeah, good job on not murder Hopeland.
Yet.
But we're townspeople.
Taylor, slow your roll.
I have to reel you
All
in.
right, so you guys are traveling with Kara. Do you want to take care of her delivery first, or is there something else that you'd like to attend to?
What would there be? Because he has been in this town before.
Let's do hers first, and then I'm gonna do mine after the letter delivery.
Okay.
I'm just a tech.
Good.
I'm sightseeing. right here at the corner of my lens and my glasses, it looks like you're writing Chinese.
He is writing Chinese.
I believe
All
it.
right. Kara takes you to a place called the Knight's Tavern. There is a sign out front of it. It's got a helmet with a plume in front of a crescent moon.
Why didn't we stay here?
Mm.
This seems nicer.
Kara says, "Oh, this is just an eatery.
Oh, okay.
You come here. They make food. It's good food, but it can be on the pricier side of things. Plus, with most inns, they wrap up meals in the price for staying there. So it's kind of extraneous to come here and eat, but also stay at an inn. Anyway, they also do some really good pastries to boot. Anyway, this shouldn't take long. We're just meeting a dwarf by the name of Ebert Greybeard. And once I hand off the wand, that should be up.
Okay.
Sounds simple.
Wandering into the place, it looks like the first floor of the New Boar's Tusk but just on a grander scale of things. Close to the center of this room, there is a bar. In the center of the this kind of island, there's what looks to be an elf and a human hurriedly kind of mixing up a couple of drinks for this group of people that have surrounded the bar and are shouting out orders almost faster than the two bartenders can prepare them. Over in the far corner of the room from this from the door that you've entered, there appears to be a door out of which a couple of people wander out of carrying these large trays and wander in with said trays tucked under their arms. There's a number of tables, but immediately at the entrance there is a man sitting at a table and says, "Number?" Kara turns and says, "Oh, just the three of us, but we're not eating. We're here to meet somebody." He nods and marks something down in the book and points to one of the tables, and then goes back to something, writing in a book.
Strange custom.
Guess we walk that way. Back to the table.
Kara sits and glances around and says, "I don't really see any of them. He was supposed to be wearing a gray cloak, but nobody in here matching that description yet. I guess we just wait."
Do you think the person at the front will inform whoever it is we're waiting?
I expect he'll know to look for us.
Does he know what you look like?
I sure hope so.
You've never met this person.
Nope.
Oh,
No, there's
Do you know his name?
yeah, Ebert Greybeard, which I've
Oh,
mentioned
graybeard. I
Yeah,
thought you said
that's-
he had a graybeard.
several
Yeah.
several times. I've mentioned this man's name, but yeah, I don't actually know. My master just said meet him there, and so now I'm here, and now I guess we wait to meet him.
I hope he knows what you look like.
Yeah, me too. She pulls the wand out from her cloak and sets it on the table in front of her, and just kind of gazes at the wand for a minute.
I don't think it's wise to just set it out on the table like that.
You're probably right. She scoops it back into her cloak. So, what do you guys think of the city so far?
It's pretty small.
pretty small.
Mhm.
Well, it's bigger than where we live.
It's bigger than where we live, but you gotta understand, I'm not from around here.
Yeah, it's definitely bigger than Newbury. A lot more people at any rate.
It's busy.
It is that.
It's not what I expected, to be honest.
I
So-
just came from here, so.
So you've seen bigger cities then?
Mhm.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like which ones?
Like the ones way up north.
You mean in the dynasty?
Mhm.
Oh. Did not know you were from there.
Yeah. It's nice to get away from it, though.
Don't you miss your home?
Yeah, I do. Very much.
You're missing me too. They've been looking for you.
All right, we'll come back to this. So, Ross, my boy.
Oh boy.
I thought we banned that word.
Yeah.
Eh,
Well,
Or
boy.
Or-
That doesn't
Don't give me
help.
more lip, boy. Hey, Pups, where you been?
pardon me.
You
All
are
right. So,
pardoned.
does Ross remember the name of
You are
the
pardoned.
shop he's heading towards?
I will. I mean, if it's an easily discernible location, he can find it given the
We're going over the middle
exhaustive
floor.
instructions he was given.
Okay. All right. You make your way to the hot steel forge just
Oh,
past
my
the market canopy, which is that big structure I was describing earlier. The roof of stilts. Do you mind?
I'm sorry, you started it.
Could you just not shake the table that way?
Was I taking it?
Do you
Yeah,
want Wes?
You careened yourself into it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Anyway, you make your way to the hot steel forge,
Team. Damn it.
where where a hammer beating against an anvil rings out a consistent rhythm.
Ding, ding.
Okay.
It's a small building. You can't imagine it's got much room to work inside of. But in the absence of window panes, there's just holes in the wall.
Okay.
They're large, square, evenly cut holes.
Okay, I was gonna
Okay.
say.
No, that sounds about right for a blacksmith shop I've seen. It's just that hole punched in the wall.
As I go in, do I see any weapons or armor?
There is there's a man sitting out on the front porch of this structure. Behind the he's sitting with his legs dangling off of the porch, the stoop, as it were.
Stupid kid's gonna leave the stoop.
On the front of it, there are two stands. One which has a sword and an axe leaning on a weapon stand. The other stand is an armor stand with a suit of full plate out for display.
Wow. Okay.
Seeing your approach, the man points at you with his chin and says, "See something you like?"
That's It's been a long time since I've seen a piece of armor like that. There's a fella that rode into town, and he I kind of hated his guts because he was like acting better than everybody else. But boy, did he look nice in that. Did you make that?
Nope. The master of the forge made it, Baron Orkfo. My name's Wilson. I hawk the stuff. I sell it.
The name's Roth. It's nice to meet you, Wilson. I've got a couple things I need some help with. If you don't mind helping me, Wilson, if you can hawk my stuff, that would be great.
Well, I could buy your stuff, but I don't.
Was at this moment, Wilson.
Okay, so
Okay, sorry about that.
what do you need?
And
Are you selling?
let me look.
You sell it.
Today I've had a few swings and a lot of misses.
Are you selling?
So yeah, yeah. I've got something I like to sell.
Okay, so you're selling.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
He pulls the travel bundle he has of like the leather bracers and the 2 pelts that he has with him for trade. And kind of puts them out to where, and kind of unravels the cordage, whatever he has going around them to kind of keep them compact for travel, and says, "This is some stuff I have for trade. I've got gold too for some things."
All right.
Do you? Oh. Almost forgot. And he reaches like deep in his pack and he pulls out the scimitar and he lays it down there.
He says, "All right. So, see, for the rest of this stuff, it's the pelts. We don't deal with that. Those bracers, those look more decorative in nature than protective. We are a warrior shop. You see, we deal in things that you use in battle." Right.
Oh, okay. My kind of shop then.
You
see, I got this. I killed the guy that had this sword.
Okay. So didn't even know that.
I killed a man.
That was a joke.
Make a deception check.
That was a joke. Good cover.
Okay,
You ain't gonna call the cards up,
what's
dude. People keep
interesting
doing
to
that
me about
today.
this character is he's got wisdom, so he knows that people aren't comfortable with what he's saying. He just doesn't know any better. Okay, deception.
Yeah, show me that -2, boy.
Wisdom is common sense, though.
That's an 8.
Ooh.
You know what? He's like, very funny. Anyway,
That +5 to insight.
Yeah. Good stuff.
all right. So, yeah, I can take that scimitar off your hands. What were you looking to get for it?
Well, I don't know a whole lot about it. I had a friend that told me that it was well made. And he said it was Tithelian in make. So I figure it's a little bit special.
Well, your friend steered you right. I'll take this this scimitar off your hands for, call it 150.
150 gold.
I mean, I'd like at least 3 silver from it, 150 copper is kind of cheap for this.
I will give you 150 gold pieces for that sword.
You should just give him 2 silver pieces.
You know what? You're exactly right. More silver it is.
Never mind
All right.
that 150 coppers more than 3 silver.
quick math.
Quick maths.
Quick maths. Okay. That sounds all right. That sounds good. I was also wondering. There's a couple of things I'd like to buy. Do you fix? Will you fix things here?
We can.
Okay. I've got a bow that needs fixing,
Bow with your name on it.
and I was wondering if you could do that for me.
Okay, so we're a blacksmith shop. You see?
Uh-huh.
All right. If you want a bow fixed, a bow which does not have metal.
Please don't send me back to the last
I
one. He
don't know who sent you here, but you're going to be wanting a bowyer.
somebody's ingots.
Ironsons?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, not going to send you there.
Okay.
You're going to be looking for a bowyer. I don't know one off the top of my head. Your best bet's probably going to be the market canopy.
All right.
Which is, he points to the structure like 20 feet from here.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I would like some.
But if you're looking to sell those pelts and those bracers, you're probably going to be looking for Nancy's Fancies.
Nancy's fancies.
Nancy's Fancies. I hate the name as much as you do.
All right.
Fancy Nancy.
Oh yeah, with a passion.
Make a deception check.
Oh yeah. Passion.
Four.
Your disdain is well noted.
Categorized.
Yeah.
Written
I would like a set of wood carver's tools as well,
Okay.
and shears, but big ones, because they're gonna be used on trees, and if they're small, that ain't gonna fly.
Ain't gonna cut it.
picks
I
up so
like
much-
you,
Picks up so much art.
Wilson.
Wilson is afraid.
You're gonna.
An appropriate reaction.
I'm gonna do
I
it.
like you.
I'm gonna come here and buy all my stuff from.
I
you
need
now.
it. I need it all.
Wilson nods and says, "Right. Okay. So we can shears. Yeah. You're also going to want to look for those in the market canopy.
All right.
We might fashion the blades for him, but putting the rest of the thing together is somebody else's job.
I just thought a couple of the things.
Okay, God.
Arrows. I'm running low.
Right. Also, bowyer.
Okay. That makes sense.
It does, doesn't it?
And armor, if you have it.
Yes. That we do here.
All right.
We can help you there.
Good.
As long as it's metal armor you're looking for. If you're looking for leather armor, still not here.
The boss is great. Get fucked.
Market canopy.
Okay.
All right.
That's great. Wilson, it's been a pleasure meeting you. I really like you, and I think
Oh.
I'm very glad we can do business. If I ever need metal armor, things that are not arrows or bows
Mm-hmm.
that are metal,
Mm-hmm.
I will be giving you a call.
All right.
If
Yeah.
you'd like, we can get this transaction done with.
Well, you good with that price tag on the sword then?
Yeah, that seems fair. I trust you.
All right. Sounds good. He gives you.
Do I trust him?
You just said you did.
You already said you did.
I
Move
said
on.
Would you like
did.
to roll an insight check?
I would like to roll an insight check.
Okay.
Do I trust him? I like that question.
That is a 17.
Wilson seems exasperated, but not entirely dishonest.
He just wants you to get the fuck out
Yes, I probably get that just
as
A
fast
side note.
as he can.
All right, so
I'll
he
pay
pays
you
you
300
150
gold
gold.
to leave.
Okay.
I would pay you 350 gold just to walk out that door and never return.
Please,
Please.
my shop and never return.
It is like selling an old man a cell phone.
Damn.
I don't like cell phones. Like, you got one of them flip phones.
This technology,
I had one
can't-
back in
I
1998,
can't.
but I can't get it to work no more.
So 150 gold.
There's also
I should have
Holy
kept
cow.
that stake.
yeah, that
Who
was
the
the
hell did we kill?
well, he only said his name like 3 fucking times.
Banana.
Banana.
He worked.
But like,
He worked for Banana Man.
Boom, boom, boom.
Okay.
Yeah, you also had a member of the village say, "Yeah, this looks like it came from that island over there." And you guys were like, "That sounds good. Let's not learn about that."
No, we're not going to an island. We're simple peasants, JD.
Right.
Remember?
Yes,
Peasants,
yes.
JD.
we're
Yes.
not- we're not
Oh, our
adventurous.
time will come.
Yeah, we're going to sink that one too.
Yep.
Whoa.
All right.
All right, access.
So I retrieved the stuff from.
Yes,
From the
kind of gives you the
Okay.
the goods.
All right. I'm heading. Then I'm going to head to Simpson. Beclat. What's up with that? Becklist.
Okay.
PC number 3.
Yes.
PC number 3.
number 3.
Samson operates his shop out of his house. It is a small place.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Bless you. Bless you.
Times the charm.
Right.
You sneeze like a hoe.
I told you I'd do it.
It's not going to be better.
All right.
Do as bad as I did.
It's a small house. When you walk in, it's dwarf sized too.
Oh my god.
So
You're gonna
you
have to
walk in
crawl.
on your knees.
Like an ape.
Are you mocking me? No.
I'm so fucking tall.
There's a guy sitting there with essentially a ball peen hammer,
Just watches you.
working on a very small set of tongs, tweezers, in effect. And when you walk in, he looks up at you. He's got this headband, which is attached to a set of telescoping monocle
Follicles.
things. And when he looks up at you, you see just this like huge eye, but it's in a small lens. And he looks up at you and flips the eye patch up and says, "Yeah, what
Hey,
can I do for you?"
I'm here to
What
pick
can
up
I do to you?
a set. I'm assuming you're Mr. Sampson.
Samson Varasi?
Pleased to meet you. I come from
Soon.
Caliph, and I'm here to pick up a set of leatherworks tools.
You're one of Gertrude's friends. Yeah.
You could
I've
say
got him right
that.
here. He retrieved a finely crafted set of leatherworkers' tools. They are kept on a belt with several pouches. Looks custom made too. He pushes it forward on the table and said, "Gertrude's already sent payment, so you're good to go."
Okay, anything I need to sign? Nothing.
So I've been paid for. All needs to be done is that taken to the
Fine.
back to Gertrude. So
Okay. You just deal in fine tools. You don't do anything with like blacksmithing.
I do lots of things.
If I were to tell you, or if I were to say I wanted to set up a smithy in a place that's never had a smithy before, what would your recommendation be?
Ooh. He ponders for a second and says, "You're probably hmm. You're probably going to want to seek out Bidricud over at Ironson's Ingot."
You've also someone else I was talking to mentioned Ironson's Ingot.
Bidricud is a big scaly fellow called a Dragonborn. You're going to want to wander over there. He's trained to be a blacksmith, but gets by as a metallurgist and a tinkerer over at Ironson's Ingots. But he really wants to get back into blacksmithing. So if you provide him with the opportunity to run a shop out that ways, he might take you up on it.
I'm assuming you know him, but we're just a little dirt hamlet. But if we had
If you've been to Ironson's Ingots, some fresh air might do you some good. Working there, everybody's so close to coal fumes that they wear masks around the shop all day.
Well, it won't hurt to talk to him, I suppose.
Really won't. Not
Well,
unless you take big, long, deep breaths.
I said,
Yeah, sitting here on your knees like...
Nasty.
Martha.
Marv. All right. Well, I'll bid him good day, and I'm going to head over to the Ingot's Ingot.
Ironson's Ingot.
And do I have to crawl into this one too, JD?
No. It'll take you some time to get there, though.
Okay.
In the meantime, over at the Old Knights, the Knights Tavern, a man in a gray cloak wanders into the bar, looks around, ignores the man at the desk, and just walks up to your table, sits down. Kara perks up and sits up straight and says, "You are Ebert Greybeard." The man in the cloak pulls the cloak back, and you see a gray-headed old dwarf, gray, voluminous beard comes out halfway down his torso. He sits at the table and says, "You would be Osteros' apprentice, Maphis?" She nods. "Right, Kara Maphis. The payment?" He nods and places a bag. It clinks metallically as it comes down onto the table. She opens it up, peers in, and cinches it again, placing it on one of her belt loops and then hands him the wand. He nods, takes the wand, and says, "Good doing business with you. You've done the right thing." He stands up and leaves.
I swear.
That was less exciting than I
Didn't
thought it
even
would be.
acknowledge us. Okay.
It's okay, I stole his wallet.
Please tell me you told the wallet.
No.
What did he mean by you doing the right thing?
Well, what do you think
You
he
have
meant by
chosen wisely. You have made a decision that is correct.
You're doing God's work. Which God?
Deus vult, my child.
She says, "Yeah, that was much more sudden than I thought it was going to be." All right, well, we've gotten that done.
Did you count the payment to make sure?
Is that how transactions work here?
I have no idea. This is kind of the first time I've been outside of Newfoundland in a while.
He seemed kind of rude.
A little bit, but he actually gave me too much money. I wondered if I should mention that, and then he just kind of left.
He had to pay more for his rudeness.
I suppose. Anyway, yeah, I'm certainly not going to complain.
I'm not gonna hunt him down.
Complain vehemently with the edge of an axe.
Just saying.
Anyway, yeah, so I guess that's my business.
Well, I've
Because-
got to
Well, that was.
go and deliver a letter.
Do you want us to come along?
Sure, yeah.
All right.
This is where it all comes crashing down.
Go
On the
to
way
the
down.
Nephrit
Estate.
estate.
All right. We'll come back to you right quick.
I wonder how
Roth.
the others are doing.
You're looking to buy a bow?
Yeah.
I'm looking to buy a bow, repair a bow, get some arrows,
The adventures of him.
see what I can get for these two.
How many
helmets
more
and
shopkeepers
bracers.
can I
Handle
piss
his
off
shit.
today
I will be banned from this town.
from the town?
From
Just the
town.
whole town.
You've never actually broken a law, but we just can't stand
We
you.
find your presence intolerable.
You're just terrible.
Let's just stay.
A bundle of 20 arrows is going to cost you 1 gold.
Okay.
And what kind of bow do you got?
I almost.
I have a short.
I don't.
So just a
What kind of repairs are you looking to get made on it?
I think the wood is still fine. It needs to be restrung.
You can't do that yourself?
Excuse me.
I probably can.
Yeah,
I
you
gotta
can.
stand.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I can probably do that myself.
At worst,
With
I'll have you make a strength check for it.
okay. Shears as well. If I can find like pruning shears.
For hair?
Yes. You're able to find those for a mere silver piece.
Okay. Let's see. And do 10 silver goes into 1 gold, correct?
Huh.
Okay. Leather armor.
You're going to be wanting a leather worker. There is a man who is selling leather goods. He is not a leather worker himself, but he appears to be working on behalf of one.
Here's your hug.
Hello.
All right.
I forgot to give him
If
a
he
hug
doesn't
birthday.
know anything,
He does have leather armor. What are you looking for? Just leather armor or
just
studded
leather
leather?
armor. I think light leather armor. The price difference is pretty stark. I think like well, I might have the figures mixed up in my head. One of them is 15.
There's a suit of leather armor going for about 15 gold. The suit of studded leather is on sale for 60 gold.
Okay, I'll get the leather armor.
That AC is 11 plus dex.
Okay. I'm assuming I'm looking. That's fine. 15.
Did you want to flip
times 10 is 53.
I've been reading it.
It's heavy.
Okay. I also would like a hunter's trap. Now that I've come into all this gold all of a sudden, I've heard, like, I've gotten by with my primitive wood traps and stuff like that, but I hear there's, like, some people use traps, proper traps made out of steel that actually last and can catch, like, bigger game and stuff. So, and those are 25 gold in there.
Did you want to look at the second one?
5 gold, 25 pounds.
Oh, 25 pounds. Well, that's a big difference.
A little bit.
Um,
Are we doing gold as weight?
I hope not.
No, a hunting trap is 25 pounds.
they're heavy.
It's just a rock. You beam them over the head with it.
That's a really expensive rock. Okay. And I think I don't really want to spend any more of this gold. So, with that in mind, I will ask if they know of a healer in town. The kind of like the best healer in town.
Okay. That's going to be one of the priests over at the chapel. Don't get much better than magical healing.
Yeah. All right. And I don't know if there's enough time in the day to do it, but I would like to inquire about that at some point.
Okay. We'll get back to you on that one.
Yeah.
Axis.
Okay.
Where were you heading next?
Ingots. Talk to our dragonsmith.
All right. You wander into the place.
I'll go in through the front door.
Yeah.
The lobby.
There's the guy sitting behind the counter.
Did you look
Mask over his face.
Did you look exasperated?
He looks up at you and says, "Oh, big guy. What can we do for you?"
I'm here to what was his name again? Shady, I'm bad with names. Write it down.
Big Rickhead.
The quick pen?
Bid Kid.
Yes. Phonics.
Yes.
Phonix.
Phonics. Hooked on phonics.
Hooked on phonics.
Hooked on phonics. Work for me.
Oh my god.
Krypton Phonics is not a sponsor of this.
Not anymore. I can read.
Okay.
I remember those commercials all too well.
Mm-hmm. I guess Hooked on Phonics didn't catch on. Because they're not around anymore.
Where's the plastic bag?
Where are the plastic bags? For what?
But these,
The Ziploc bag?
Yeah.
They're where the always are.
where the what?
They're where they always are. That's right.
Let them to the left. Oh, this man just runs. He's like, who are you talking to? I'm here to talk.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
It's funny because we can watch him do that on there.
Oh, yeah. I'm here to talk to a Bedricad. Phonics.
Phonics.
Bearcat. Scaly fella.
Oh, Bidricket.
Bearcat.
Big.
Sorry, I have an accent.
Yeah.
Names are
What do
hard.
you need him for?
He's a smith, ain't he?
Yeah.
Well, I got a potential business opportunity you might want to hear about.
Could you turn the lights off in the kitchen? He nods and says, all right, I'll go and fetch him real quick.
Appreciate it.
He disappears into the back. After a few minutes, he reappears again, this time followed by a large, scaly fellow wearing a leather apron.
You can
and
leave that
pants.
one on.
What scale color are we looking at here?
Thank you.
Red.
Ah.
He wanders up and says, "You wished to speak to me?"
I do. My name's Axis. I understand.
He extends a scaly clawed mitt.
We just crush everybody.
So I was wondering if you would be interested in setting up a shop in a little dirt hamlet in the middle of nowhere.
To do what exactly?
Blacksmith work. General blacksmithing.
Okay. Tell me a little bit more about this hamlet.
Well, we're less than 100 people. Our biggest export is mead, dirt, and fruit. It's really quiet, and all that 19 years I've lived there, we've only had one incident worth noting. So we're really quiet, and there will be a lot of I won't be any big jobs that I can guarantee, but there'll always be some work for you. It'll be your forge, and you'll be the town's only smithy.
Do you have a ranch?
We have at least one ranch, an orchard. We only have 2 ranches.
Okay, well, if you've got a ranch, then you've probably got cattle. And probably at least a few horses, which means that you'll likely need somebody to shoe a horse from time to time. Is there any building going on?
No, but I have a sneaking suspicion that's because we don't have anybody that can make tools.
Which is why you're speaking to me right now.
Right. Well, what you're bringing you on would open up, would allow us, would give us other more options to expand. I mean, we're poor, but we also don't have much in the way of skilled labor.
Tell you what,
Excuse me.
give me the night to think about it, and I'll get back to you. You staying anywhere in town?
We're staying at the new. What is it? The new Boar's House.
Internally reads notes.
New Boar's.
All right, I'll come and see you in the morning.
We if it makes any difference, we have 2 oxen in a wagon. So if we're coming back lighter, we're leaving lighter than we came in. So if you decide to come, we can carry as many of your tools as a one wagon can hold.
I'll consider it.
I'll shake his hand and exit.
Make sure you incinerate his paw to dust.
All right. Man, I squeezed every last bit of that 11 charisma.
Right.
Yeah.
I abused the shit out of that. Excuse
All
me.
right. We're about at the 2-hour mark, so let's take a short intermission. Stretch our legs. Get back to it.
Let's
Okay.
put up that intermission music.
Yeah.
Elevator music. Hi. I want to say that Willow commercial is really starting to get on my nerves too.
What commercial?
So, me and you working we work in electronics. Those commercials that you
That
hear,
play on the TV.
Mm-hmm.
On
that's like what, a 15-minute loop, maybe
yeah,
25 minutes.
I think it alters a little bit.
So, all that to say, whatever commercials on there, we're going over even a 5 or 6 hour shift, we're going to hear like 20 different times. And Cricket Wireless makes the absolute worst commercials.
Just a commercial where they're like,
You know what?
hi,
Instead of him saying,
over
I will
video
show you.
chat.
It's like 2 minutes long.
It's like 2 minutes long.
It is. It reminds me of the fact that the CIA would play things on repeat to torture people because it does do something to your brain. Forcing you to the same thing 100 times.
Now it's going to be stuck on this forever. I can get it to load. I'm connecting to your printer.
You're connecting to my
I
printer?
connected to your printer.
Are you really?
Yes.
What the fuck?
I don't know. Let's see.
All right, we're back. All right, so it is now time to deliver the letter.
Yes.
You're able to ask around, and you get pointed in the direction of the Nefrith estate.
Oh, he's gonna pull up a separate sheet for this one.
Pulling up other things.
Oh,
Boys,
boy.
This is the biggest thing we've done today, boy.
Plot intensified.
Yeah, I really should have done this ahead of time.
Plot convolutes.
The plot stiffens.
That wasn't actually Ansem, that was Xehanort.
Oh my god.
Xehanort, what is that?
And Ansem's apprentice.
Is that like Xehanort? That sounds like a antifungal cream or something.
Was it Ansem or was it Ansem? That's the real question.
Chrisley Ansem or was the non-Chrisley?
Yeah.
I need a big old dose of Xehanort.
Like I think talk to your doctor about Xehanort.
What's the Square Enix don't sue us? We were sponsored by Square Enix. They're like, fuck you guys.
Millions of people
We spent
have
13
not
years. We spent 13 years on this game. I don't want to hear it from you nerds.
Right?
Wow.
All right. The estate that stands before you is large. Easily one of the largest structures that you've seen in your life. Although, considering your background, that's not saying much. The only place in Terra's mind that had larger structures was the courts of Nervalea and the Sealy Court in the Feywilds.
Ooh, so majestic.
I am majestic.
You are majestic as if.
So the
Background point right there. Majestic AF.
Yes. Majestic as fuck.
personality traits, majestic AF.
SMH.
SMH.
There's two sets of steps leading up to the front door of this place, to the sides of which you see
Your face looks funny.
you see flower beds to the side of these stairs. Pedestals at either side of the staircase, you see
Fuck.
statues of lions on either side.
I see that.
The estate itself
You
is,
must have good smelling feet.
you can tell, 3 floors, each
Goddamn,
slightly
she looks like she'd
smaller
kill
as it goes.
somebody If somebody
Okay.
came near that shoe.
It's a tiered estate.
Goddamn.
Kara whistles and says, "This place is quite large. You're delivering a letter here?"
I am, yeah. To Maita.
Must be some person.
What's words? What are names?
Maetha.
Maita.
All right. Well, do you want to knock?
I do knock.
Okay. A man in a finely dressed, in a fine suit, opens the door. He's on the older side. There's a little bit of gray starting at the sideburns, going up the side of the head. He says, "Can I help you?"
Yes, sir. I've got a letter to deliver to Maita. Does she live here?
Yes. She works here. She does not. She stays in the servants' quarters, but I believe she has residence elsewhere.
Okay.
I could see if she's on duty today.
Yes, please.
Very well. He opens the door and says, "Please come in."
Thank you.
All right. You all step inside.
Oh yeah.
I
Hell
step
yeah.
inside.
Sure.
Okay. The
I'm
foyer
nosy
of
as hell.
the foyer of this place is rather sizable. It's probably about 15 by 25 feet.
Damn.
The in the corners of this room are suits of armor, each gripping a pole arm on their stands. There's a staircase directly in front of you that goes up and then splits into two directions, leading to walkways above you on the second floor. Underneath the wings of the staircase are two hallways that proceed into the residence. The gentleman steps into one of these hallways. There are 3 chairs apiece at the left and right walls. Above these chairs are set these portraits of a half-elven man, dark hair, slightly tanned complexion. In either depiction, wearing fine clothes of red and gold in coloration. At his side, there is a sheathed rapier.
Ooh.
Batted eye.
Is the guy going to look?
Do what?
Has the guy gone? and looked?
Yes,
Okay.
he's exited through into one of the hallways.
I look around at all the things.
Okay.
In the
Um,
lobby. Just the lobby area.
Okay. I've pretty much described all the things
Yeah,
in the lobby
yeah.
area.
One of those. One of
There's
those.
nothing more to take in.
One of those pole arms are for sale.
Upon closer inspection, would you like to make an investigation check?
Just to look at it.
Sure.
Yeah. Ooh.
Ooh.
They seem real.
Can I check?
Sure. Note, when I say they seem real, I mean as in they exist.
Is that a 1-2?
They are palpable.
They take up
That's
space.
a 7.
Oh, well, it's higher than you.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? Investigate?
So that's an 8, it looks like.
Is it?
Yeah.
I forgot what investigation was.
Intelligence.
Oh, okay.
All right. Not only are they real, they have features.
Just features.
Yes.
They exist.
You're not sure what features those might be, but they have features.
They take up positive space.
Yes.
Are there any gems in them?
Do you touch the edge?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh.
You
Do
run
you
a finger
look at-
along the edge of the glaive.
Mhm.
It is dulled. So these appear to be just for show.
It's dull.
But they
That
have,
is what I say. I go, phew, it's dull.
but they have features
They
that
have
exist
features.
in correct space.
They have features such as being decorative in nature.
I just fucking brave it.
Yeah, just kind of like not even gently testing it first, just
Just punch it next
My
time.
finger's still here.
We're going to be a group of well-respected and highly feared adventurers one day, guys. I promise.
You do note, however, that there's not a single speck of dust on this suit of armor that you're inspecting. Very well cleaned. Shortly, the man returns with an elven woman in a peculiar outfit. Make an intelligence check for me.
Everybody?
Anybody who wants to. Okay, so
Did we both roll 13s?
16.
Wait,
see,
investigate.
Taylor actually has a positive intelligence modifier.
I do too.
Yes, his is greater than 1 though. All right, so Taylor, you have seen this before. Anna Barnett wears an identical outfit. It is a sort of camisole with a skirt that goes to about mid-thigh, black and white. There's also a headband feature that she is wearing with hers, but that Anna's appears to lack. It is small, appears to be, has a ribbon entwined with it. As she approaches, she looks at you expectantly. She says, "Yes, masters, you called for me?"
Oh, I
We're masters.
give her a letter and said this is from Anna and Barnett.
Make an insight check.
Debt collector's pay.
Oof.
Damn.
All right.
You need
She takes the letter and nods. "Thank you, master." She turns to the well-dressed man expectantly. He says, "Is that all you require?"
Yeah, I guess so.
"As you were." She bows from the waist and leaves the room.
She's supposed to curtsy. You fucker.
inept.
Uh,
Maybe you're assuming it's a female.
And world magic and
It's a trap.
It must be.
she's not real, is she?
She does exist and have features.
you know what? Nobody made an investigation check, so we're not sure.
Oh,
Does she have
You're not here.
features? Does she exist?
did I get it?
She's real.
Okay, good.
She
I'm
has
glad.
features.
Does she have features?
She got that ass.
You're not sure. You weren't looking that close.
Oh,
Just
okay.
follow. Just follow. Like this.
My fucking 119 and it goes to fucking waste.
You would, hey, you wanted
And
to
I
know if
rolled
she'd had
two.
features.
Them features, man.
Exists in the current space.
Fuck you.
I'm glad that's
Curtsy next time, bitch.
All right. So
I'm glad that's such a
I wish she said that every game. And
So-
she's walking away. Just
the butler says, "If that is all,"
Rude.
Get out of my house.
he gestures to the door.
Okay.
Get out of my house, you filthy peasants.
As you're walking to the door, you notice a man walking along the walkway above. A hairless man with a few scars along his face and on the side of his head. He wears a suit of half-plate armor, and he has a long sword sheathed at his side. He watches as you exit the room, but says nothing.
Oh shit. It's Voldemort in armor.
His Eminence.
He has a nose.
Sir,
Okay. But
He
that
has
wasn't
features.
described.
He has features such as a nose.
You didn't go into description.
it's Sir Voldemort. I'm not.
I wouldn't worry about it. You don't know whether he's real or not.
No, he
That
would-
is true. She
Yeah.
didn't roll for that.
All right,
That's
guys,
fine.
let's quit beating that joke before it dies on us.
The horse is dead and on its way to the glue factory.
Beat that horse straight to hell.
Jesus.
Let's go see what else has features and occupies current space.
Holy cow.
That level 1, boy.
Goddamn.
That before level 1, girl.
Right. Girl. Girl.
All right. The sun has fallen. It is now dusk.
The sun.
The sun just fell out of the sky. There was no warning.
It fell into the ocean. The ocean has evaporated. You guys are now playing reverse Waterworld.
Oh fuck! It's a drone.
It's Mad Max time.
We no longer have features.
I don't know why I went with reverse Waterworld over Mad Max. What's
No,
wrong?
I think
Because
think it's
Waterworld
the
was
sun-
clearly a better movie.
I think
Fuck you.
I think the sun just
Fight
hid
me.
its face in like embarrassment.
it's like the end of
That's your
Signs. No, that Nicolas Cage movie that was actually interesting.
Wait, what was it? Was it
Uh,
Connor?
The Wicker Man?
knowing.
Which one?
Yeah, the one where it ends with spoilers. Where
The
the
kid's on another planet or
no, like
something.
there's a solar flare and it evaporates everything on the surface of the Earth.
Yes, that's the one. That's the one. It's called
Just-
Knowing.
Never seen it.
Don't.
It's actually no, the ending was cool.
No, it's not.
Nicolas Cage dies.
He goes Conks. Cage dies.
Good.
Yeah, and
Alright.
everyone else except for
Yeah.
two
So,
children.
What's
what
wrong with
are we
Nicolas
doing?
Cage?
You return to the inn.
I would like to purchase. Well, no, I don't. Never mind. I would not like to purchase. Yeah, I'm back at the inn. I'm kind of
You were
proud.
about to go pick up some potions, weren't you? Knee-jerk reaction.
I'm like, oh, I forget. I'm in this game.
I don't have any money. I don't have any potions. I should
should
pick up potions.
I
Oh,
should
wait.
stock up supplies for my adventuring career. Oh, I'm in this campaign. Never mind.
Hey.
E-
I mean, that's a good instinct to have, though.
right. No,
On the
I
DL.
no. Actually, Axis is quite proud of himself. He feels like he's had a productive day.
He feels like he needs to get some potions.
He doesn't know what potions are. I don't think he's ever seen a potion before in his life.
What's that? No, it's just a different color.
Booze.
Yeah. It's just a different color liquid.
Yeah, I guess so. So he's gonna head back to the inn and look into what kind of meal these highfalutin city folk, or what these highfalutin city, God damn it, what these people call a meal around here.
Okay.
Words.
Use your words,
I
dear.
can't. They're dead.
They appear to have served you some kind of pork in between bread.
Meat. I've never had meat before.
Oh, damn.
It is.
The dirt
In
tastes
between
different
meat.
here.
There is a leafy green, probably lettuce.
He'd
You
be
just-
able to identify
Did
lettuce.
you just serve me damn grass? No.
Alongside a potato soup of sorts.
What have they done with these potatoes? No, are these like are these
They've
normal
been boiled and mashed.
Stick him in a stew.
Are these normal portions or Goliath portions?
They appear to be normal portions. However,
You can have my sandwich.
you do see somebody going back for seconds.
Well, fuck that. I go for seconds.
And then thirds. And then
Doesn't
fourths.
even touch it, just already goes back for a second serve.
It leans across the whole bar.
Just everyone.
Give
His
me,
arm is long.
give me that for free.
He grabs the edge of the table.
Mm-hmm.
Gib.
I've never this, so I think it was established before there's not all that much food in the village. And now he's like, what's a second helping?
There's a decent. There's enough to eat.
But is it enough for seconds? I guess there would be. We're not like starving to death.
Yeah, you're not
The
starving.
farm and the ranch.
Well, for a Goliath,
and stuff. Yeah.
he's probably not had a Goliath-sized meal in his life before, to be honest with you.
Probably not. His stomach yearns for that which does not
It
exist.
never knew. It neither has features nor exists in this
Oh, God.
Goliath meal.
It comes full circle.
Excellent.
So he's like, I've been hungry my entire life. The whole time. It goes back for seconds, that's all I'm saying.
Excellent.
that long ass thing for that one little conclusion.
I
That's
guess
what
I.
My character rushes in for seconds.
More! The grease is
Great.
hungry.
Uh,
Is anybody else back yet? Bees turn.
yeah. Does everybody returns to the inn, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The priest,
Is it
unless
good?
it's too late.
Right.
Is it good?
You wander into the chapel.
Just messes with me.
There appears to be a guard stationed at the doors. Like I described, the interior of the chapel includes a small sanctuary from which a priest could give a sermon. Otherwise, there are alcoves before you get to the actual sanctuary that each contain a small altar, holy symbol, and depiction of the deity in question.
Anything look familiar to me?
Flips the table.
Familiar how?
Like just any, so if they've got like a symbol above each of these sort of altars of sorts, anything that I would have noticed like prominently, maybe in Mama Teek's home or somebody else in Caleb.
You recognize the holy symbols to Indros of the Plains and Valus of Life.
Hello?
The guard says,
Oh, take your.
the
fucking
priests have all gone
backpack.
home for the night.
Oh,
Go home. You're not wanted here.
okay.
You can pray at the altars if you like, but I'm
No
not
one's
a
gonna
holy
hear
man.
you.
So, all right. Well, they'll be here in the morning, I guess.
Yes,
Don't
generally.
shame on me.
All right. Okay. Well, he's gonna. He's gonna look back at the altars and think for a second. What was the I'm sorry for my poor memory. What was the deity that Mama Teek served?
She served
Wasn't it Ballas?
under Hallis
Hallis.
in her younger days, but she currently pays patronage to Valus and Indros.
I'm going to walk over to the shrine to Valos and I'm going to put down five gold pieces
Uh-huh.
and I'm going to kneel down in front of it and say a few words to myself.
Okay.
Ask a couple questions. And
Such as?
he's going to ask if this is enough to make an exchange. And upon receiving no answer, he will put down another 5 gold and wait a couple minutes. And then, assuming, nothing happens, he will get up and leave kind of abruptly.
Okay.
And head back to the inn.
Oh boy, sure got our money's worth out of that 10 gold.
Meanwhile, in the heavens, an exchange for what?
It's like gold? What is that?
What are you asking for?
I can't read your mind. Wait.
Anyway, all right, good to know. Would you guys believe that Roth has had the most adjustments to his piety so far in the campaign?
I believe it.
I don't care about them gods anyway.
Would you believe that Roth was the first one to lose piety?
I wonder
believe
why.
Yeah, that was
You mean my staunchly adhering to my lawful tent has not changed my piety level at all.
No, it has. It's just it hasn't been as many adjustments as Roth has seen so far. Like
Roller coaster ride.
Yeah, I love the fact that I'm probably just as confusing to the deities
the
as I
deities,
am to the shopkeepers I'm talking to.
the deities are like, yes, wait, what? No, stop.
You ass! I was about. Well, screw you too, kid.
Excellent,
This basket case.
By this time,
just excellent.
Access is on his 12th helping. He's going to eat until someone stops.
All right. So Tara also returns to the inn, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Tara, look at all this food.
Yum.
Yum indeed.
Pork sandwiches with lettuce.
It's see what they done here is they put this meat between two bread pieces. I never thought of that. It is much more satisfying for some reason.
Carbs.
I am satiated at last. Don't care for these greens though. Just pours the greens on his plate. Thought you might enjoy
Just
these.
takes the greens off. Sets them on somebody else's plate in the hopes that
They,
nobody
ma-
notices.
they match your eyes. I thought you might enjoy them.
I eat the greens.
Only the greens.
Only the greens.
Just take it sandwich. Binge.
Crab.
It reminds me, in a recent episode of Talks Machina, people speculated. People asked, like, why is Talison's character Caduceus? Why is he so frail and skinny, as Taliesin has described him? People come up with fan theories like, oh, he's sickly. He's got a disease that is ravaging his body. And on a recent episode of Talks Machina, he said he's just vegan.
Yeah, that totally
It's
makes
like-
sense.
It's kind of hard to bulk when you're on a vegan diet.
And now Tumblr's put a bounty out on his head.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Nah, he's vegan.
That
Shots
that
fired.
makes a lot of sense.
So that explains my
Yeah, right.
7 strength.
Anyway.
Anyway.
Right. So.
So what fresh hill did we unleash with that letter that we failed the insight check on?
Oh boy.
That was actually the okay way for it to go. I rolled a percentage to see if a certain somebody was nearby.
So we just wow, actually just delivering the letter doesn't bring the world to a quote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Percentage die.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said that one had potential to go sideways, but it went well.
Good.
Went well.
Oh,
You guys got an 89%. The percentile that you didn't want was 33.
Oh, good.
Yeah. You
Bum, bum,
Well, we don't think we
interesting things.
So you can't tell us.
True.
An interaction that is not relevant to you at this point in time.
Awesome. I'd like to.
So
Never mind.
go ahead.
No.
All right.
All right. So, anybody doing anything before bed?
Oh, hey,
Who's Merman sleeping
hi.
hey,
tonight?
Axis.
Hey,
My, wow, that's a lot of plates.
it's just two, but I worked them over really well.
You can speak.
Oh yeah, that's
Can I
gonna
like cut that tonight?
stick
If
to your
it's
hips
okay.
if you keep eating
She
like
waggles
that.
her eyebrows at you.
Look at these tools I
I
got.
wag my back, but more like
Well,
confused.
I already got the Leatherwood rules.
Like,
Oh, you did?
Ah.
she
You
does
get
the
'em from,
finger pistols. I do the.
What's a pistol?
Samson, you visited Samson Bell class?
I do the awkward. Bang bang.
I think
No.
at this point you're like intentionally butchering his name.
What?
Vadazi.
Fadazi?
But does see
Did I
that.
get it right?
Vidase.
I tried to
Vidase.
tried to find them, but
The dolly.
I tried to find them. But
It's a small plastic thing.
But Kara's not going to sleep with you now.
I
I was just twiddling this
You
thing
paid
and
for
then
a
whoops.
separate set of leather tools, didn't you?
reckon so.
Whoops.
I just keep
Yeah.
screwing up
I'm
and
pretty
asking the
clumsy.
wrong questions.
Well,
But I thought about trying out leatherworking too, so I guess it don't hurt none to have an extra set.
I was going to. Oh, and we might have somebody coming back with us.
Huh?
Yeah.
Who?
So I talked with this fella by the name of Barricade, scaly fella.
Vidrican.
Bed. That name sounds familiar. I've heard that. All right. Bedricad.
Also 10 to 11. Why'd you
And
look at
it's
the clock when I said
maybe not sure yet, but he
that? That's
Clock
what-
has numbers.
is
That's what time he's
potentially
coming.
maybe our Hamlet's new blacksmith.
Okay.
I figured if we
Is
have
that
access to
who's
metal
going
tools,
around?
we might be able to make some
That's
stuff
when he
happen.
plans to get here is 10 11.
Well, I know we've needed one for
Probably
as
should
long
be
as I've
awake by the time.
been in Caleb, so that sounds pretty good. Certainly be better than having to come up here again. Sits down.
But are we? I know we're staying overnight, and he asked for the night to think about it. I don't expect we're staying another day, are we?
I don't know. I'm gonna head out in the morning.
Mind looking around some more?
Oh, I told myself I was not going to forget this, and I pull out my pouch, which is like way more full than it was before, and say,
I'm kind of concerned
I
the way
gotta,
you worded that.
what? I word things perfectly fine with this character.
Yeah.
And like, just put it out on the table for all to see, kind of open up the drawstring of it to where it's like, that sword apparently was kind of expensive. So
How much is in that pouch?
We can count real quick.
I'm not so.
I vote to count.
Go ahead.
I'm
Who wants to
gonna,
count?
Abacus.
just as I'm like, as usual, looking around my surroundings, do I notice anyone that's like paying particular
A
attention
goblin
to
with a
us?
porcelain mask on or something like that?
Probably everybody in the room because we have like a giant thing of gold out now.
Yeah.
Bar fight!
How much money was in there?
You see, I've been keeping track as I've been like spending it. This also includes my gold. So all I have in my person right now is 133 gold pieces and 9 silver pieces.
Okay, I guess that's what I count. That's a good haul. I push it all back to you.
Yeah, so
Probably not put it on the table.
do I notice anybody?
That's what I whisper to you.
Yeah, do I notice anybody?
Make a perception check.
Boom, 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 boom.
Just a FYI from your good.
Well,
Soon
my
to be
passive
thief.
perception is 8.
Mhm.
Okay, that's a 16.
A couple of people look over, but they kind of go back to their own business.
We're still in
That
easy
seems-
mode, guys.
That seems like a good idea. This is more than I've ever seen by quite a lot. So
Our access is like hyperventilating.
Maybe the how did y'all's errands go?
They've been all right.
Without a hitch, pretty much.
Makes me nervous.
What we gotta do tomorrow?
So I gotta pick up some stuff for a friend at the. Need some hide armor and a weapon of some kind.
Oh, I know where to go to.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Where's that?
So you go out yonder
Okay.
to where the big open square is, right? You go out there, and there's a place with a lot of stuff. You can get there's a guy that has leather, you know,
Okay.
and so
You're
can
talking
get,
about the market.
you
square.
can get leather. Yeah, that's what they call it. And I got some other armor there, and right near that, there's a place.
Some say he's
the-
still explaining the market square to this day.
The heated metal
Okay.
is right. You can't miss this. Right nearby, big open place.
The
Got
Smith?
Huh?
A Smith?
yeah, like it's got a big old full plate armor out in front, and steel and stone. It's hard to miss, and they do the armor and the weapons and the stuff.
Well,
I'll check that out tomorrow.
Yeah.
then.
I don't want to go to that there shop.
Don't go to the ingots place though, because those people are hard to talk to.
they seem just fun to talk to. with me.
Did they hurt you?
No, I screwed it up probably.
We can give them a good talking to if you want.
Oh,
Well,
I mean, be careful. You talk like that, people might take you seriously. You know, you go out there, and you just gotta be careful. You know, you never know what people are gonna do if you say the wrong thing or. You
Well-
know.
Sweetheart, it's okay.
Yeah.
well,
So anyway, I'm tired. I don't know about y'all. I'm tired.
Been flexing that 7 charisma all day long.
well,
Been using those
we
brains.
can
Holy cow!
take care of Tara's business earlier in the morning.
Oh, is Kara with us?
Yes, she is.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
She's right here.
Watching.
Just kind of sitting here like, this is fascinating.
We
So is
Are you taking notes?
is Kara coming back to town with us?
Are you?
I don't know. I might stay here for a couple of days. I have some spending money. Part of the payment that we received for the wand is mine. So
well,
Front of
you're
mind.
gonna have to make your way back through at some point or another.
that is true. And it would be nice to continue traveling with the people that brought me here. What do you think? Would you like to stay for a couple days additional?
Well,
On my dime.
Oh, we could stay here a few more days. I'm sure.
well,
I'm sure there's things to do.
no, I have no doubt there's things to do, but there's also things to do back in Caleb.
Like what?
Like farm.
Like that. And while I'm here, the Dick is in charge of watching out for the town.
I'm so happy with that choice.
And Mama has tended the orchard by herself. And we might have a new smithy we need to build. And, we do have some,
But it'll still all be there when we get back.
true, but we do also have some valuables that need to make it back.
True.
Like all these leaves and stuff that I bought.
They're already dried, aren't they?
All these leaves.
I mean,
It's tea and herbs, right?
I either can chew on the plant or I can't. That's about as much as I know about.
All this we got between us, we got a fair amount of.
Keep the herbs, watered. It should be fine.
We've got a fair amount of gold, and they really don't do much of anything in Caliph, but here it seems like you get a lot of stuff for it. So
Well, but that gold's not necessarily ours to keep.
they weren't expecting nothing from it, so
Well, but they got something, so we can't just go spending it without,
look,
Did
but
you
I
wanna
don't
fund it back into
want.
town?
I mean, what if Caleb sort of became like this place?
I mean, as long as we don't sell the money we got from the whatever we sold to the inn here.
Well,
I mean,
I
what
don't
if we
feel-
got stuff for the town?
I don't feel comfortable spending other people's money, is what I'm saying.
It ain't other people's money. It's my money.
I've got 2 gold to my name. I was lent 25, which was 10 of which was used to buy these sleeves. The
And they
rest-
said the rest would go to us. So
Well,
I'm sure they would have thought about it a little bit more if they knew we were getting like a bunch
I
of it.
think you're backpedaling and try to excuse, spending people's money. This is the town's money, right? So we need to get it back.
No, I don't have.
Oh, Axel, so noble.
I-
I'm proud of you.
It's just my job.
I don't have use for gold.
We do have use for gold.
Okay, just chill there, little buddy.
we can
I'm not.
But
I'm not looking to go on a spending spree. I'm saying, when I was looking around, there's a lot of stuff that Caleb could use,
Well,
and so we should maybe spend a couple of days here, see what this gold can do for the town.
but last time I checked, your name wasn't same. Your last name wasn't Dinley.
But Denley ain't here.
No, we are.
I know.
So
if
we
we
need
got
to go
if
back.
we got a chance, look, they're not going to complain if we come back and we bring stuff that they need.
how would you know you're not there in town half the time?
I know
You're out in the woods.
I know him.
We're the one-
I've known him for a long time. So, there's things that the town could use. We need to talk to your.
like a blacksmith, yes, who we need to get to town as soon as possible if he decides to go.
Yeah, I wonder how much he might
Don't you
want.
have to make sure he would like to go before we start building?
He told me that he would spend the night thinking about it. So I assume he was
He'll
going
have your answer tomorrow.
that's what he told me. He'd have an answer tomorrow. And if he's ready to go, he might not appreciate being told that he needs to stay a couple of days later because we want to buy some nice toys or whatever.
He shows up. All right, I quit my job and my livelihood is on the line. Let's go. Well, actually,
If
If
need
it
be,
comes down to that.
well, he might need to give notice before he leaves.
I don't know how
At
it
least a
handles
fortnight.
that. I mean, I can walk him back to town if need be, and y'all can stay and spend your money or whatever.
You wouldn't want to go by yourself
No,
with a
but
stranger.
I've got responsibilities that I need to look into back at town.
all right. We'll cut the visit short and maybe return sooner rather than later.
That I'm kind of nervous because that whole bandit issue hadn't been resolved yet either.
You know
Yeah.
what? That's fair enough.
I'm pretty sure I resolved it.
You resolved a bandit. There could be more than one.
Verily, did he resolve him?
You're right. Bandits do tend to multiply over time,
Right.
given an opportunity.
Except when they're
You
dead.
also might
That's
notice
very
that we're
true.
getting
That
some
was
new
my
weapons.
point.
It's difficult to multiply.
See,
with
now you understand how I see
The
things.
things that they had in that shed for us.
Right?
Is that how
We're
bad
Violently.
going to be very protective.
Violently is how you see things.
I mean, that's a good point. We got to figure out what everybody can actually use. But like I said, I mean, while we're here, more or less, there's Garrett to look after the town when he decides to leave his orchard, which is once in a there's the dick. But what I'm saying is, I'm not comfortable leaving the town unattended for unimportant reasons.
Well,
And we have a blacksmith that could make weapons if we get him set up.
I
You know, we need to protect ourselves before that.
I wouldn't be too
Because if
concerned
the
about the
bandits
town.
attacked just a few days ago, they could be back.
All right. I have a suggestion. All right, so let's go. We'll see the hot steel forge. We'll pick up a couple of nice pieces of leather armor from the market canopy. Right. We'll meet up with that blacksmith, and then we head on.
We can leave by noon. We get up early enough.
I mean, how late do you normally sleep?
I usually take the night shift, so I don't usually sleep there.
Oh, right.
But
Would you like to talk to the oxen throughout the night?
I'll try to get some sleep.
Okay.
But
That's a thing he does, right? He talks to oxen.
no,
Okay.
they don't talk back normally.
Normally.
Depends on how bored I
That's metagaming. I can't say that.
am.
I was about to say
So-
druids can, but then I was like,
I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah,
So-
you've seen Watcher Zachary wander up to like cattle and be like, "How are you doing today?" And then after a few seconds, go, "Yes." But you're pretty sure that's because he's 70 years old and as a halfling. So
You're a good son.
"Very good son."
So, fine. We'll be done by noon. I can get you all up at dawn. How's that sound?
sounds unpleasant, but okay.
Wake me slowly.
Sure. Yeah.
Agrees to it. Doesn't even know what it is.
Okay.
You got it. What the fuck?
Oh God, I wasn't ready for this.
Immediately starts to sweat.
James
James
extra sweats.
James sweats.
He's like, he turns. James like, I know.
You're a pickle. You're about to use a pickle.
What the hell's a pickle, James? We're cross campaigning here, James.
Anyways, moving on. You guys head to bed after some amount of deliberation. All right. So Kara's crashing in Una's bed, which leaves
Cuddles.
one bed for each of the rest of yous.
I'm looking down this tiny ass excuse for
Oh,
a
we
bed.
are sharing one room, aren't we? So one room or two rooms?
2 rooms.
Well,
You
fuck.
don't get to sleep with the men folk. We're all like piled up into one small room.
Oh,
2 rooms, 2 beds, 2 a room.
so actually, one of the men can sleep in the bed that we're not using.
I should put 2 beds together so I can actually lay in
Like,
one.
do you
Yeah,
snore?
the innkeeper just.
Do
How can I? I don't think we have beds for you.
You just sleep on the floor.
Yeah, like where I belong. Do I?
As you roll that die,
do I
it made
snore?
me think of stuff.
Nope. Now what old Exodus will do is probably put them. I don't know. Do they have mattresses? What is it? Is it like straw?
There are mattresses, yeah.
He just puts the mattress on the floor, uses as a pillow. Like it's just like
What bed do you think you are?
7.
Axis' size slowly grows over the course of the campaign. By the end of it, he's a
So
world eater.
you're taking 2 beds, and I guess we 2 have the other bed that they're not sleeping.
Yeah,
No,
I'm
he uses you as a bed sheet.
Oh God,
7 feet 8 inches. So I'm just shy of 8 feet tall.
you'd be able to fit on a regular bed. Your
Yeah,
legs
mine-
would just be hanging out off of it.
So yeah, he'll do that. He's just big old Goliath feet just hanging off the side of the bed.
Sure.
Yeah, I'd end up.
His
starting
snore
on
is
the
like an
mattress,
avalanche.
but then
Jeez.
I'd end up sleeping on the floor though.
Okay.
Get in the damn
Where would you
bed.
sleep?
On the floor. I couldn't fall asleep on mattress.
He's used to sleeping in the dirt, but the rest of the edge lords.
Edgelords. So who's sleeping in the same room with us?
Me.
That would be Tara then.
Okay.
Wait,
Tara watching
then there's
from
just
the other bed.
just one bed that's not being slept in this room. Full blue.
You hear that noise and like wondering what that is.
It's like,
Wait, hold on a minute.
what is that
So there's
noise?
like he's sleeping on the floor. I'm sleeping in one bed. There's just an empty bed. He goes into the other room.
Well, yeah, there's 2 chicks in there.
Heck yeah.
Like,
Clearly, they're smart.
I'm seeing the addis.
The brains
Your
of the
addis is
operation.
showing.
Yeah.
Drag them out. Nope.
Yeah. Sam sent you along because you were the only one who make sure they didn't get lost. Like keeping them on track. Just remember, guys, we're here to do this thing. And the rest of the group, low intelligence scores, is like, oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I have 10 intelligence. You can shut your mouth.
Like I said,
12.
low.
It's not low.
It's average. You're the ones like, oh, we're going to use these preset ones. We can't roll our own. But
Bitter much?
So bitter.
not really. That
Yeah,
actually-
you flustered, as they say.
Booty bothered.
Well, you mean I can't have my lowest score can't be 15 on my sheet because that's how rolling works apparently.
I remember those days of
Yeah,
having
right.
good those
They were
good
required
rolls.
for us to survive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
It's not metagaming, it's survival.
I think the very first game
Another,
we played, like, I
another-
rolled really good.
critical role anecdote. Like it's very apparent that they all rolled their stuff because you look at Jester's sheet. Jester doesn't have a score beneath a 12, right? And then you look at Not, and Not has like a minus, a 4 in charisma and a 7 in wisdom,
It's
and it's like,
bad.
To be perfectly honest, I would just as far as those low scores, I would cut it off at 8 because that below that you're just non-functional. And that,
it's like I'm a vegetable.
right.
I'm a vegetable.
So
I think he plays it well, given
Oh,
his
super well.
restrictions.
he
Yeah.
do, but 4 charisma wouldn't really be able to like.
He recently rolled a 0 on intimidation.
Yeah.
It's like
It's essentially that like he has to play the character to where there is no social contact.
Yeah.
Because he like completely
and Sam
net-
pulls it off. Anyway,
Yeah.
we're wandering.
Yeah.
All right.
I wake everybody at dawn.
We are at the 3-hour mark, so this is a good enough point to end off on, and I'm going to award you guys experience points. Remember, and this would be the first full rest that you guys have completed. You have completed a long rest, so you may spend these points immediately if you so choose.
We don't get long rests on the trip.
We're doing gritty realism. A long rest is a week.
Oh,
Yeah. That's
You
right.
completed several short rests.
oh, okay. I'm not used to those rules.
I don't think any of us are yet.
You each gain
5,148 points. God damn.
you gain 2 experience points each.
Shit.
Yes.
I saw that one. I'm kind of sad.
So I use my point of inspiration on that.
I don't remember how to use the
D4
points.
roll.
So we'll do that later.
2. Adjust that to be 2 out of 6,
We
Oh.
unless you want to spend them
you
immediately.
said we got how many?
2. You
I don't know
have
if it's ever
gained 2.
been brought up. You can't reallocate points.
Correct.
I had 1 saved over from my last
You just
time.
suddenly forget
Okay, so
how
you're
to
up to
do
3 out of
something.
6.
Yeah, that
All
would
right.
be real dumb.
That's going to be the end of the broadcast. As we move on to handling the potential level up, if people are spending their points. So we will see you guys next week. Bye.
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 I'm sorry.